Okay, awesome. All right, so welcome everybody. We just so are excited to have you on. Tonight, this is our team huddle. This is our first team huddle for the month of March 2018. If you're not currently muted, go ahead and mute your line so we don't hear your background information. Background noise. But I'm just excited. We have a couple things we're going to cover tonight. We're going to jump right into the book, the 2 chapters of the book of Get Over Your Damn Self. I hope you guys found these 2 chapters helpful. I think that she got some really good, I think she gave some really good content in this. And so area manager Amy Gill in St. Louis has offered to lead us through these next 2 chapters. So I'm going to toss it over to Amy, and I'm going to let her just share kind of her high points, highlights from the book, and then if there's any things that you guys want to comment on or have questions on, we'd love to hear that too. So Amy, go ahead and take it, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thanks, Missy. Honestly, these couple chapters to me were extremely relevant. The first one, the I object, there was a lot of things that I have heard in the short amount of time that I've done this, either from people I've talked to, actually even just talking to Missy, seeing things that she's gone through and things that she's heard. And I think that's the biggest thing, is to try to figure out how to get past that. I thought it was pretty good to not get defensive. That's what it talked about in the I object chapter. And I think it's easy to get defensive or your feelings hurt when somebody doesn't want to join, or they don't want to come to a party, or you don't have anybody show up at a party. And these are people that you know, that are your friends. Gosh! And also the try not to convince somebody. I think that is huge. I think if we can just get the information out there, that's enough to convince somebody enough. Beating them to death or just keep cramming it down is not going to fix it. It's not going to get them to join your team any faster, and it's going to make you frustrated because I've been there with several people, and you can't understand, why would you not want to join me? I mean, this is amazing. This stuff is fantastic. But I think we can't convince everybody of all these things. I mean, there's a lot of things out there. They think their products are awesome. They don't realize the benefits, I think, to Arbonne sometimes, and the ingredients that are in there and that are not in there. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I wrote down to help them understand the business model, and the company itself. I think that's huge. I know when I was on my phone call, when I said yes after my 20 or 30-minute phone call, I think that's what drew me to it, was just the business model, Missy's enthusiasm itself for the products. Good night. Her enthusiasm stuff, and she was so real. And I think that's what this chapter kind of focuses on, is just, we need to be real. We're not going to get everybody to join us. And not everybody's going to be able to be convinced, but the people that object, we need to figure out why they object. So if you can say, I understand, I've been there, maybe you don't feel your timing's right. Saying I understand goes a long way. And I know as a pharmacy manager, that was a huge thing. Don't start throwing things off on other people and whatever. The first thing is, as the customer comes up, you understand. Even if you don't, they love to hear that. They want to hear that. They need to hear that. So I think that's a huge thing that you can do, and that goes a long way, like I said, to getting them to listen. And people do find all kinds of reasons why they can't do it. I don't have enough time. Well, I mean, I swear this whole chapter was like straight out of our Arbonne. I'm like, did she do Arbonne? I mean, it's just, these things are just crazy. 10 hours a week, all these things that we talked about. But it's true. But I think just making someone understand that when they say they're a busy person, well, those are the people you want on your team, because the people that are busy are going to be the go-getters, the ones that are going to do things. And that's what you need to focus on when they find these excuses. Well, I'm too busy. Well, no, that's great, because those are the people that, I want on my team. I want those people that are going to get up and do things. That's huge. The person says, I don't have enough money. Well, break it down. It's nothing to sign up compared to a lot of these other companies. I mean, this is nothing, $80. It's like 100 by the time you do, your shipping and handling for your catalogs and all that. I mean, that's nothing. Offer to find a way to help them. You know, if that's the case. I mean, overall, you will end up winning, you know, if you get them to be part of your team. And the next thing that people, they object to, and my sister was a huge one with this. I know she's not on, so I can say that. She's getting her little guy to bed too. But, you know, I don't want to bother my friends. You know, I can't do that because I'll send my messages out to my girls, you know, and I'm like, hey, they got a free gift. It's going to expire in March, April. Oh, I don't want to bother them with a text. What's your problem? It's not a bother. It's a free gift. If they want it, then go claim it. You know, put your order in. You're not bothering them because I get on, I mean, I'm on my website like daily, you know, at least more, you know, 2 or 3, 5 times a day. They're not, you know, they're not thinking, do they know there's a special right now of the primers? No. Did I send that to everybody? Yes, because they might not get on in the next week or two, but they love the primers. And I'm trying to get my team to understand, send it out. You know, whether it's a message or a text message, at least you're letting them know. So don't ever think you're a bother to somebody, because if you can't get past that, you're not going to grow and you're not going to go anywhere. I think that was a huge, huge thing. Another thing that people say, I don't know anybody. And again, there was my sister. You know more people than I do. Yeah, well, we know a lot of the same people, but you know people that I don't know. They know people that I have never even met. So the whole point is to network. And that's why I've started doing, you know, getting out these kits, because that's great. Because some of these people that I don't know, they don't want to come to a party. But if I give a kit to somebody I know, then they're going to be thrilled to pass it on to somebody else that I don't know. And they get excited to help you, because then they can start earning rewards from getting those things out. So, you know, that's a huge thing. You know, I don't know anybody. Yeah, well, you do if you sit down and make a list. It's overwhelming how many people you really do know. Like I said, all through networking, through your Facebook. I mean, people have like 300-400 Facebook friends. Are they all your best friends? No, but that's probably better. Those aren't the people you want to reach out to. Yeah. I think that was a huge thing. And that was pretty much all of chapter 7, was just on and on. And then the chapter 8, when it got onto that was the whole, you know, your funnel being full, but nobody falling through it. And yeah, I have that. Alex, sorry.
It's fine.
Everybody, it's Betty by time around here. So yeah. But anyway, but that's your funnel being constipated. But yes, you know, and I think, as I was reading through this chapter, it's like, ask more questions, find out why they're not falling through. And I think that is huge. And again, I think, you know, and I'm still going back to that bothering people, you know, but ask them the right questions. And if they're not going to join, then what did you lose? You've lost nothing. They're still going to buy this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still going to buy the products, because, I mean, once you start using them, you can't go to anything else. My favorite was the other day, I gave a makeup kit and she gave it back. She's like, I really need this stuff, but the rest of my stuff, I want to finish it by Mary Kay. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, good luck going back to it. You know, because I'm thinking, you know, it's so hard. Once you start using any of this stuff, it's just overwhelming. And I think, like I said, it's asking the right questions to these people, and continue to ask them, giving them examples of what you're doing, and them seeing you actually loving the stuff and being genuine about it. Being a salesperson, no. And, you know, I mean, and me working for Walmart, if I had a manager, like a district manager, come in, and I never wanted a Walmart answer, I hated that. I mean, I couldn't stand that. I'm like, no. And that's why I really disliked it when they got away from being pharmacists. I wanted somebody that understood me. And I think that is what we need to do, is we need to make ourselves like these people we're talking to. I mean, we were the same thing a few months ago, a few years ago. And I think that's the thing, like I said, just asking the right questions, figuring them out, and what we have to do to get them to join us. And that's, like I said, that's the main thing. So no, these 2 chapters, I mean, were perfect. Because I really, March, you never are looking to the next month, but February was short. I was already getting kits out, knowing I'm going to get them back this first week. And I'm already starting on March, because you can't stop. And can't, like I said, you can't stop asking the questions. You can't stop, you know, going after people, because you're not going to grow. You're not going to go anywhere. And I think this book is fantastic. I really do. I mean, it's saying a lot of things that we already know, but it's kind of like smacking us in the face with them, you know? So I think, like I said, I think these are great. And one last thing before and this has nothing to do with the book, but, and I was going to post it on the website, but it'd make more sense. And I probably will still. But so last week I went to the spa. One of my friends turned 40. And we decided to get massages and facials. So I was in there getting a facial, and the lady's got the big light on my face. And I mean, I've never had one in my life except for, of course, the ones I do at home every night. But she says, what do you use on your face? So I told her, and she smiles, and she said, that stuff is amazing. She said that, she was kind of going on and on about it. And she said it was similar to the products they use there at the Four Seasons. And she said, I can tell, the elasticity in your face. She was asking me the different lines I use and such. And she said, there's nothing worse than telling someone they need to switch products. She goes, but when you come in already using this, she goes, I can tell. Of course, she has that huge thing on my face. That made me feel so good. She, of course, mentioned a few things that we shouldn't be using, which I have friends that do. And you can't bash other companies, but I'm like, wow, go in there and see her because I'd love for you to know that stuff's not great. And you're paying just as much, if not more, for your stuff when ours is much better. So that was kind of a fun thing. When I got out of my facial, I saw my friend, because she's not a consultant, she's a PC. And I said, did your lady ask you? And she said, yes, and that's what she said, same thing. And I'm like, so we sat there, and as we were sitting there drinking our champagne because it was her birthday, and she's like, wait, what were those other new products? So now she has a whole list of other things that I get. So it was kind of fun. But like I said, it was just neat for somebody that sees somebody's faces every day under that big bright light. To say, wow, keep using the stuff you're using. So I just thought that was kind of a fun little thing to share. So. Yeah,
that's for sure. That's awesome. Thank you, Amy, so much. I know you're on Central Time, just like some of the other gals, and so your kids are still up cruising around the house. But I so appreciate you sharing and insights. I'm going to just kind of comment on two things. And Amy, if you need to hop off, you totally can. With your one of the things when it said there on page 110, is this a pyramid scheme? I actually had a lady ask me that when I asked her if I could take her to coffee. She is a restaurant owner and just super busy. And she's like, is that one of like those pyramid schemes? And here's what I'll tell you is that you just have to be prepared to sometimes use a little bit of humor. Humor goes a long way in life and in business. And what I said to her was, it totally is. And I'm like, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. And so it's just one of those things that sometimes we have to be willing to, just play off of, them. Like Amy was saying, just be willing to share, from a point of, I understand Lisa Voorhees has taught us for years the feel, felt, found, which is I understand how you feel. I felt that way. And then this is what I found. And so I thought that was really good. I love to kind of a big takeaway for me in this second chapter, in chapter 8, was about asking people, it all sounds great, but she just can't decide, and asking them those 3 questions. Because I will tell you that nothing, one of the things that I have let stall out my business at different times is the maybes. And the maybes are the people that you're like, I think she's signing up next week. And then another week goes by and you're like, I think she's signing up next month. And you're kind of waiting on her. You're waiting on her calendar. You're like, well, I'm going to, I know she's going to launch this month. And they just never, sometimes they don't actually ever sign up. And so just helping people get off that fence sooner than later. One of the things that I love to do is circle back with people in about 48 to 72 hours. And I haven't ever asked them these types of questions, but I've just said, are there any questions that you have, or what would keep you from saying yes? And if they don't have any, but they're not yet ready to say yes to being a consultant, then I kind of make the decision for them. And I say, you know what, it's totally fine. It sounds really like the PC option is probably, the best fit for you at this point. And then we can just circle back in maybe 3-6 months and see if things have changed. If at any time, you can always upgrade that account, but why don't we just make you a client for now? And you kind of take it off the table for them a little bit. And sometimes I've had people say like, oh, well, no, like maybe, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can. Okay, I guess I'm going to do it. Like, what am I, I'm being down, or I'm, just being fearful. So sometimes it can help just to give people directive in that way so that you can help lead them to a decision. So does anybody else have anything while we're on the book before we hop off that they want to comment on, a takeaway, something that was helpful for them, or questions on any of it? Sorry, I got a bug in my throat, or phlegm, one or the other, one of the two. drinking some detox tea, trying to get it cleared out. All right, well, we will switch gears. If you don't have the book at this point, you can totally still order it and catch up. Like Amy said, it's a book with lots of information that we've heard over and over again. But to me, this is kind of like a staple in an Arbonne Consultants library, because she is in another network marketing business. She's in Rodan and Fields. She's just really direct. She's just like, she doesn't mince words. She doesn't, she's pretty intense. I think I'm like reading her book and I'm like, oh, you're intense. Like I can't imagine visiting with her in person because I think her writing is so intense. But I think it's just a great review of all the things that we know, and then just giving some of those tweaks or even those suggestions like with the questions and such. So you can also download it on Audible if you like to listen to books better. That's a little bit more helpful for some people. So, okay, so switching gears. So we are going to do recognition tonight for the month of February. So as you guys know, we are trying out a new thing where we're doing socials, which is just gathering people here in Louisville. It's a way to just build relationship, help them see the culture of Arbonne. The one that we had in February was with Andre. He was a stylist, and it was so much fun. Like so much fun. Really, the biggest problem we had was that we didn't have enough room in the restaurant that we booked. That was the big hiccup that night. But we have one coming up for March. We're planning for it to be next Tuesday night, which is Tuesday the 13th. I think it's going to be the yoga theme. Casey and I are working to like confirm everything up tomorrow. If you don't live in Louisville and you're like, gosh, I want to be a part of a social, you can just organize one. You can do something at your home. You can do something with a few of the consultants in your area. And it's just a way to gather people. You can have people over and do like, let's make protein balls. You can, find a yoga studio and everybody pay $10 and go do a little 45-minute beginner class and then do a product sampling at the end. There's just different ways. We want to be, people that gather people. We want to be people that are fun to be around, that people are like, gosh, nobody left the event with Andre last month and didn't think that was a lot of fun. And those are some awesome people. And I would like to hang out with them again. Everybody left that event feeling that way. And we had a very little, sprinkle of Arbonne in that. So to say all that, we're going to have the first team huddle of every month be recognition of the prior month. Okay. I think it's important for people to be recognized. I think it's important for you to know that you're doing a good job. And I think it's also important for you guys to know who's doing what, because I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit of a competitive person, and I like hearing what other people are doing because I'm like, oh, I gotta hustle it, and so it's a fun thing. So overall, as a team, I just wanted to give you guys a big shout out. We had 56 signups, which was an incredible improvement over January. January is always a slumpy month. It's always like the month you kind of don't want to have to deal with. But we just had incredible growth into February. Our goal for February was 100 new signups. It's the same for this month. It will be the same until we crack it. And then once we crack it, it will go up from there. But we have a brand new district manager, Beth Schlegel. I hope I say your name right, but woo! And I'm going to give a shout out to Beth. So Beth really ran at a similar pace as what Amy Gill, who just did the training, is. These gals did district in 1 month. So Beth is a college student. She's going to be graduating this year. She has lots on her plate, and she signed up and she sponsored 2 consultants into her business. She's got more already coming on board, and she went district in 1 month. And that is important for you guys to hear, not because, and hear me on this, Beth, not because Beth's a superstar, but because Beth just simply followed the system. And when you follow the system works. And so you use that excitement, you use your own levels of influence, you just get busy and you go get yourself that pay raise. Sometimes people are like, well, do I need to be a district manager? I'm like, well, you don't need to be, but you're going to get paid extra. You're going to get paid another 8% on everything as soon as you get there. So that's really important. So big shout out to Beth. Also have a big shout out to Brenda Bradshaw. She was my special shout out. Every month I'm going to kind of just give a big shout out to a special shout out to everybody, and it was Brenda. She killed it. She had an incredible, incredible month. For those of you that don't know, Brenda Bradshaw has probably been a business partner of mine longer than anybody else. We used to be neighbors, and she is a dear, dear friend of mine. I love that lady to pieces, and she's just done an incredible job, and I just am so pumped for her. There's just big things up around the corner. So those of you all that hit maintenance was Lori Huffman, Amy Gill, Tara Johnson, Edie Meeks, and then myself. And then those of us that hit our bonus, so the bonus adds extra cash to your check. So I hit my bonus, Tara Johnson hit her bonus, and then special shout out to Edie Meeks, who hit her bonus. Woo-woo! And if you guys in the chat box don't want to like high five each other, you sure can. Why Edie's was even more exciting is that when you promote to district and then within the first 6 months you hit your bonus, Arbonne tacks on another $100. So that bonus added $300 to a paycheck. That's a big deal. Like, that's car payment. That's a lot of things. That's a big deal. So way to go, Edie. Super proud of her and all of her team that she's got growing. So we have 6 people in qualification for district. I'm going to read their names, and I hope I pronounce your names right. We've got Gabby Carrera. She is in Washington, D.C. I hope I can remember everybody else. Gabby Carrera, she's in Washington, D.C. Michelle Hatfield, she is in Illinois. Sarah Moser is here in Kentucky. Shannon Van Pelt is here in Kentucky. Kendra Noyes is in Missouri. And Riley Pennerwood is here also in Kentucky. And so why I want you guys to hear that is because every month, my desire is that we'll be adding more and more and more and more states to our recognition. We had several of you that earned I don't know what they were calling it, but it's like the cents incentive, where if you sponsored 3 either PCs or ICs that had the 250 or more, you got the little essential oil as well as the car diffuser or car scent thing, which was really cute. And so there's several of you all that earned that, which was awesome. Beth, I don't know if you know this, but you also earned the cash bonus, the $100 cash bonus. She's like, oh yeah, girl, I know it. I know my money. I know my paycheck. She earned that for sponsoring 2 new consultants as a consultant, which is awesome. So you guys, here's this is what you guys need to be telling your consultants. We want them to be sponsoring the month they sign up. And ideally what you all want to see happening is in your business is the month that you bring on that you're launching a consultant. You want them to not only find a consultant, but have them help that girl or that guy get another consultant. So ideally, because what you're wanting to do, the depth is going to shore up the longevity of the business. The width increases the paycheck. So if you can help your new consultant partner with a new consultant to partner with a new consultant, that's an incredible start to a business. Okay. So Arbonne is rewarding consultants for sponsoring right out of the gate so that they're not overthinking it and like, oh, I don't know. I don't know everything yet. I can't go sponsor. You just are ignorance on fire. You just don't even have to know a lot. You just have to be excited, and you get them on those 3-way phone calls so that your team leader, your upline can validate those things for you. Okay. So if you have a consultant and in their start month, or I think at any time, I can clarify, but I'm sure at any time, if they sponsor 2 consultants, they get that $100 cash bonus, which is really fantastic. So we always call out sponsoring stars. These are the people that just did an incredible job in their sponsoring for the month of February. So coming in at first place is, oh, you're so right, Fallon. Fallon is in qualification. Thank you, Lori. Why did I not have Fallon on there? Her picture was on there. She's so pretty. Fallon Cruz. She's like gorgeously pretty. We got on a call one morning and I was literally so scuzzy and she looked so cute and her eyebrows were perfect. And I was like, oh, Fallon, you're so cute. Yes, Fallon Cruz here in Louisville, Kentucky is also in qualification for district and we are pumped for her. Thank you, Lori, for that reminder. Okay, coming in. I guess I'll go top to bottom. Okay, so coming in as sponsoring a total of 4 new signups, with 2 of them being consultants, was Tara Johnson. So exciting. Next is Brenda Bradshaw. She sponsored 3 new consultants direct. So these are direct signups. These aren't like within a team. These are direct. I came in next. I sponsored 7 direct last month, with 4 of them being consultants. And then number 1, Beth Schlegel. She sponsored 9, and 2 of them were consultants. So Beth is clearing house tonight. And you know what? That happens. That definitely happens when we have months where people are promoting to district or they're getting a qual. You know, you're hitting all the points. Because when you're hitting all the points, you're promoting. That's how this business works. It's really awesome. The last thing that I want to recognize us as a team for is I went back as best as I could, because I'm sure that some people got the 30 Days to Healthy Living kits, like in host rewards or things like that, or maybe they pieced them out in a couple orders to get ready for the challenges this month. But what I could decipher is that I think that we sold as a team 25 30 Days to Healthy Living kits in February as a team, which is awesome. But I'm always going to tell us we're going to do more. So I would love to see that grow really, you know, somewhere into the 40s this month, if not double it. Because you guys, those are just the power of nutrition in your business is a powerful force, because people consume, there's a word I love that I heard from my really good friend, Mark. It's called asinine. They consume an asinine amount of product, meaning they will plow through fizzies, they'll plow through tea, they'll plow through Digestion Plus. Like some of those products, when you get people on them, they don't go without them. They may or may not remember to wash their face twice a day. So they may or may not go through a skincare set every 4 to 5 months, but they will go through those nutrition products. So really looking for every opportunity to increase those 310 sales. So the 310 is the QV that you get off of those. 310 as a consultant, should have had this, I think it's $44, but just that 15% alone, it's $46.50. So as a new consultant, if you have a new consultant and you're like, hey, if you want to make just initially over $200, go sell 5, get 5 people. And that's part of the frenzy. That's part of what we're really challenging, you know, everybody to do, is to get 5 new people to be signing up, participating with a PC account and an ASVP. So that's really feasible. And so I just thought that that would be a cool thing to track, and us to see that grow over the year. And so you can even do that yourself. You can pull up your orders, you know, within your success line, and you can go through and you can tally how many 310s are in there. You know, how many kits are you selling within your business, and then just work every month to do a little bit more. This is a business of just doing a little bit more as you go from one month to the next. So great job, super job. What we did in the past for our local meetings was we handed out like the Brighton charms and things like that. Those will be coming to you guys in the mail or at the social. You'll be getting those. So totally pumped for this team. There's so many awesome things happening. I can't even handle it. So second thing is some announcements for this month. There's GTC Cash on the line. If you are on the fence about coming to GTC, or you're like, I said no, but now I think I want to come, you should come. We have room for you in the condo. It's very affordable for that many nights in Las Vegas. You can get some really cheap plane tickets. Edie and I were looking for a girl on the team, and a round trip ticket we found. Now granted, she has to fly a red eye if she wants it, but it was like under $200. I mean, it's just goofy. There's, you know, go to kayak.com, that'll sort it. Southwest has cheap flights, Allegiant has cheap flights, Frontier has cheap flights. Vegas is a very affordable place to get to for anybody in the world. So don't decide for somebody if they will or won't get to Vegas. You just offer it to them. You know, even if they've, I know that Beth just had a girl that signed up, and I was like, hey, she want to come to Vegas? And she's like, I don't know, I'll ask. I mean, she signed up, you know, she's the first girl that signed up this month in March. I don't know if she wants to come or not, but we certainly want to offer it to her and let her decide, you know, if it's the right timing. So, but there's GTC Cash on the line that you can earn. the selfie light, which is just a fun thing. And here's the thing, you guys, if you're like, I think a selfie light's stupid, or I think a card diffuser scent thing is stupid, it doesn't matter what the gift is. That is not the point. The point is that you go to work to earn the incentive, because earning those incentives are growing your business. You're not earning that incentive for a $15 selfie light that you could buy on Amazon that has an Arbonne logo on it. Okay, you're not. I get it. That's not why you're doing those things. But when you're willing to do them, you know, you will be growing your business. And I just always have a personal like competitiveness with myself, where I just want to earn or give my very best to attempt to earn every challenge that's put out, every challenge, you know. And there's been years where I was pregnant and I knew that I wasn't, or I had just had a baby and I knew I wasn't going to go on the AIT trip, but I still worked to earn it, even though I knew I wasn't going on it, because it's the point of going for those incentives. Don't just put those to the side and be like, oh, it's too hard, or I can't go anyways because of work or whatever. You know, you just decide. And so speaking of the Jamaica trip, there is still a lot of time. If you decide that you want to earn that, you only have to promote 3 people out of your central district. You can promote people in 14 days. You can promote people in 30 days. You go to work and you find 3 people to help them get into qualification direct to you this month. And then you help them finish either this month or next month or May, okay? You can absolutely do that. That volume is possible to achieve. And again, if you give your best and you fall a little bit short, your business is going to be way farther than it was if you didn't attempt to go for that trip, okay? Okay, so I talked about the social in Louisville. One thing I'm going to do tonight, and we're going to be doing this for the month of February. It's kind of a new thing. And I will tell you all, this is a place of just transparency and vulnerability for me, but I feel like it's going to be something I think is going to be really awesome for this team. So I have been in Arbonne for a long, long time. And in most of my experience in Arbonne, nobody really talks numbers. Like, they say things in a way of like, yeah, we're having a good month, but they don't like define what good is. Or they're like, oh, our sponsoring's up, but it's like, well, is it up by 1 or is it up by like 100, you know? And there's just never like a real clear sharing of numbers. And Shannon Wenzel, the national vice president that we had on the team call a couple weeks ago, I love that lady to pieces. She is like straight shooter, Midwest farm wife. She's smart. She's a go-getter. And anyways, I am in her team page because I just am learning a lot from her, because she's where I want to be. So I want to learn from MVPs, right? So wherever you are, you want to be hanging out, watching. If you're a district manager, follow the area managers on our page, or, you know, on our team. What are they doing? How are they promoting their business? What's their activity look like? You want to be doing those things. Area managers, you want to be doing what I'm doing. I'm a regional vice president. I'm going to be doing what national vice presidents are doing. And so anyway, so she posted on her team page on Saturday some like those thermometers with the goals where it like fills up per the goal. And I reached out to her immediately and I was like, tell me about this. I'm like, I have never seen a national vice president put their numbers, their team numbers up on their Facebook team page, put their sponsoring up on their Facebook team page. I said, have you done this before? Do you see this helping your team? And she's like, we did it before. She's like, it was awesome. It gave everybody just a clear picture of what the role was that they were playing. And it's not being pieced out where it's like, oh, so-and-so is doing this much and so-and-so is doing this much. It's just a team goal, because this is a business of team. Like, we're not going to promote 6 vice presidents this year because I have some crazy like magic dust that I'm just going to sprinkle on people and be like, oh, poof, there you are. It's going to be a team effort, a cumulative effort. So I think I just loved that. And I also loved the freedom that comes from just being transparent and just being authentic and just, you know, inviting people to be a part of our journey, the good, the bad, because in business, you know, you guys have to realize you're running businesses. You're going to have some really awesome months. You're going to have some really awesome seasons. You're also going to have some seasons of drought. Like, I grew up on a farm. There were some years where we had a drought or we would go backwards, you know, but that doesn't mean you quit. It's just like Christina Weir said in the call a couple weeks ago, it's just a bump in the road. It's just a speed bump. Okay. So to that point, ta-da! So here are our little goals, and I'm going to take a picture of them. I'm going to be posting them frequently, like not obsessively, in the Facebook team page so that you guys can just be seeing this number rise. So here's the 3 things that are on here. Okay. I went and I took the QV that I totaled up from all of the different managers within the business, including myself, and it was a bit over 80,000. That if we all hit our goals, the things that we say that we want to do, we're going to hit 80,000 as a team. If you guys don't know what 80,000 is, 80,000 is halfway to nation. 80,000 means that there's several people halfway to region. Our vision is 6 people getting to region this year. So we got to start getting halfway there, right? So that's what this first ticker is going to be, is we're going to be just totaling up the QV, getting to 80,000, okay? The second is preferred clients. Preferred clients, this team can sponsor 100 preferred clients. In October, just to give you guys perspective, so last month we did 54. In October, there was no sign-up incentive, or well, maybe there was that month. It doesn't matter, because honestly, it was just people asking, but we signed up almost 130 new preferred clients and consultants in the team. And in October, we were smaller than we are now because we've added a lot of new consultants since then. So if we could do that in October, we can certainly do that. We can certainly do 100 this month. So we're going to have 100 total preferred clients and consultants. And out of that, I have a goal of 20 new consultants coming into the business. I think we had 12 last month. So that's really everybody just bringing on one more, and we'll hit that goal of 20. Okay. This is only to be motivating. It is only to be like, man, we're either doing awesome, or man, I need to pick it up. That's all that this is. Okay. If you want to do this within your own business, there is a gal on our team up in Minnesota, and her name's Ashley. And when she was going district, she had one of these. I don't know if it was like on the cupboard in her kitchen or where it was, but like she just had it. And every time she had some sales increase, she just colored more in. And I thought it was so awesome. I just thought like, man, it's so good to see the growth that's coming, and then also how far you have left to go. It's just a cool visual. And I think that that helps a lot of people. So we're going to be doing this as a team. You know what? There's a little part of me that I'm like, ooh, it's kind of scary to put yourself out there in that way, because what if we bomb out? What if we have a horrible March? You know what? Then we have a horrible March, and we're going to pick ourselves up and we're going to go on from there. But I feel like as your leader, I just want you guys to be knowing that you can operate your business from a place of transparency. You know, our former president, Rita Davenport, she's an hilarious Southern woman. I'm sure you can find her stuff on YouTube. But she used to just say, fake it till you make it, which I totally agree with, because there are times where you just have to walk into a party, or you have to walk into a coffee appointment. And if you don't know more than, I have an Arbonne ID number and I'm connected to this team and they're really awesome and fun, but I don't know anything other than that, you just kind of fake it till you make it, and you just give your best effort. She also used to say that a response when somebody asks, how's your business going? She just said, you say it's incredible. She's like, they don't need to know if it's incredibly amazing or incredibly awful. She's like, you just say it's incredible. And so there are aspects of it where you want to have, you know, you're always wanting to look at things in a positive light. But I also think that there is an element of transparency. And I want you guys to know what you're a part of. I want you guys to know that as we start to promote these 6 VPs, it's because you had a hand in that. You know, everybody is in this team because they're connected to somebody. So your efforts aren't just affecting you, they're affecting the person that shared this gift with you, or the person that shared the gift with them. You know, it's a much bigger deal. And I even think about that often. You know, I have a national vice president. I have an executive national vice president. It impacts people's lives. When I'm willing to go do a little bit more, it puts a little bit more of a paycheck, not only in my account, but it goes to Deanna. It goes to Lisa. I love those ladies. They've invested in me. Why would I not want them? You know, Linda, why would I not want them to get a little bit more? That's the awesome thing about this business. I'm not limited. If I go out and I do a little bit more, I'm going to make more money, but so are they. That's an awesome way to have a business. So you never have to think like, well, if I go work a little bit harder, you know, so-and-so's going to get more, but so will you. So will you, you know, so that's just a really fun, cool part about the business. So that's a new thing we're going to be incorporating, at least for a few months. I'm going to see how it goes, but I think it could be something fun to be a part of. If anybody has any comments on that or things that they want to put in the chat box, you could totally do that. We'd love kind of your thoughts on that. Last thing that I want to say tonight as we kind of think about March is I'm going to share a tip with you guys. I feel like this is like an insider tip that is very valuable that I don't often talk about, but I think as I have been looking at this team, looking at what you guys want to do, understanding that we have these multiple plates to spin of group events, coffee appointments, Facebook virtuals. By the way, there's one tomorrow night with Val Hossie. She's incredible. She's a national vice president out of Southern California. She's a personal trainer. Find 5 people by tomorrow to plop into that call, okay? But there is something that I did in the beginning of my business that I think did 2 things for me. I think 1, it created a lot of confidence for me. And 2, it got me networking out in ways that I would not have been able to network out of if I wouldn't have done these activities. And I have people currently in my business that are kind of at this point to me lifetime customers because of things that I did 10 years ago. And what those are is I went to events. I went to networking events. I went to lunches. I found things online where people, specifically women, were gathering. Okay. There wasn't meetup.com like there is now, but that's an amazing place to start. Go find something that you can just go meet some people. Now you're not going with your Arbonne hat on and your Arbonne t-shirt and your Arbonne gold tote and your Arbonne water bottle filled with your fizzy and you're like, I'm the annoying Arbonne lady and I'm only here obviously to smother you all in Arbonne in the next 90 minutes. That's not why you're there, okay? I would actually recommend probably not wearing any Arbonne logo because sometimes that just screams like trying really hard, you know, especially when you're in groups of people that you don't yet know. But what I did was I went to some early in the morning. I went to some late at night because early in the morning is a different group of people than the after work crowd, you know, 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. I went to some over lunches. I went to some where I paid a little bit. I went to some that were free. There are endless amounts of groups that you can get yourself into. And if you go one time and you're like, I hated that, that was the weirdest group of people, I would never want any of them on my team. Good news, you don't have to go back. You know, don't sign up for a membership of something that you don't know what it is. I never signed up. I never paid monthly dues. I never did an annual commitment to any kind of official networking group. I just looked for ways to get into groups of people in my city that I didn't know. And so my challenge to you guys is you can go to meetup.com. You can search things on Facebook. You can simply do a Google search and find groups that are in areas that are of interest to you. Like, I'm interested in mom stuff. I'm interested slightly in exercise stuff. Not a ton of outdoorsy things, but I'll do them every now and again. You know, I'm not into like birding. Like, I'm not going to go bird watching with people in order to make friends. I'm not. It's not my group of people. You know, not everybody is my people and I'm not everybody's people, but find groups of people that you're like, gosh, that would probably be a fun group to hang out with. And if you've never done this before and the idea of it right now makes you sweat and you're like, I could never go to a group like that by myself, that's even more reason why you need to do things like this, because you've got to push yourself out there. You've got to start getting much. As Arbonne consultants, we get paid to be friendly. We get paid to be kind. We get paid to be friendly. We get paid to be others focused. That's what we get paid to. We get paid the more access we give Arbonne to people. Well, if we're not getting in front of people and meeting new people, we're going to limit our access, okay, and our ability to grow this business. So yes, we are totally paid to serve in this business. Thank you, Lori Huffman. So what my challenge is to you guys this month, and what I would love for you to do, I'm going to probably make a post of this, and then you guys can be commenting, is I want to challenge you to find one new event. You don't have to commit to a group, okay? Just one new event or thing that you can attend this month, and you're going with the intention of honing your skills of starting conversation, of honing the skills of asking questions, of honing the skills of looking for opportunity to bring up Arbonne in a nice, natural, non-weirdo way, okay? You're gonna hone those skills. You're also then gonna hone the skill of trying to gather information. Like, oh my gosh, would you care to jot down your name and phone number? I'd love to follow up with you. You know, I went to some that where I would walk out with one or two, just like, oh, hey, it was so nice to meet you. I'd love to connect up with you on Facebook. Or, hey, it was so nice to meet you. Yeah, I could totally send you a protein sample. I think you would love it. I also went to some where they were networking events. So everybody came and handed out business cards, and I left with 10 to 15 business cards. Do you guys know how many people ever followed up with me? 0. Goose egg. Nobody does. I do. You will. Go do the things that other people are not willing to do. But I just think that that will get you into that stranger market, which will move you into a bigger stranger market, which can really help grow your business. And what I find is that most people are most comfortable building their Arbonne business in the acquaintance to stranger market versus the family best friend market, okay? So that's going to be my challenge to everybody this month, is you go find one new event, one new group that you can visit, that you can network in, and we're just going to start honing that skill, because I think that that's something that's really important that I did in the beginning of my business. I still do today. Like every month, that's part of my routine. Every month I just look what's happening in Louisville in March. Where can I go? Where can I meet people? Oh, it's a $15 ticket. Oh, it's a free event. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. And you just look for opportunities. And if you're like, I don't know where to look, or I live in a small town, you know what? You might have to drive a little bit. Catherine Lutz, Executive National Vice President, and I'll finish with this. She is an Executive National Vice President. She lives in Austin, Texas. She drives an hour still once a week to another part of Texas, a different city, and she spends 6 hours prospecting. Once a week, she drives 1 hour, she prospects, she goes to coffee shops, she goes shopping a little bit, she has lunch. I think she maybe has like like her naturopathic doctor lives there, I'm not sure. But she goes there and she's like, it's a prospecting day. That's her job. She's like, part of our job is to prospect. Part of our job is to grow our markets. Part of our job is to meet new people. So if you like to shop, go shop. Get friendly with the people working at the store. You know, you can't go sit in a Starbucks for 6 hours and think that you're going to prospect people. You won't. But you could stop in there. You could do different things to get creative. You know, even going and trying a new workout class, or lots of different, there's so many ideas. So if you're struggling with ideas, you can reach out and I can, you know, give you a few, but I think that'll be just a fun challenge this month as we're doing all the other things to really just hone those skills that come from putting yourself into new groups. So does anybody have any questions, comments as we wrap up here? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, awesome. All right, well, so good to see your all's faces. Thanks for hopping on. Amy, thank you so much for training us at the beginning of the call. I so appreciated that. It was great, great content. So you guys have a great night. I'm gonna stop the recording. Do you want to stop? Yes.